All right, now to give us some more insights about this very interesting choice of a venue for a possible peace meet, we're joined by Mr. Ahmed Al Ibrahim. He is a Saudi political analyst and US-Saudi relations expert. He's joining us live from Riyadh. Mr. Al Ibrahim, this report that's, of course, coming through that Donald Trump would want to meet with Vladimir Putin in Riyadh for a war that is raging in Eastern Europe is bound to raise a number of interesting questions. Why do you think Donald Trump wants to meet Putin in Riyadh?
Thank you for having me, and my greetings to you and to your viewers. Of course, MBS has actually stated the record that he stands a safe distance from Vladimir Putin and from Donald Trump. The relationship between MBS and Putin has been developed over the years, and the trust issue between the two countries on many files: energy, security, trade, tourism, so many things that has been worked over the years. Saudi Arabia also has been brokering a peace deal, or was brokering a peace deal between Zelensky and Putin, and tried numerous times to invite both of them, but it never happened. So they've been through the past years with the war that's happening between Russia and Ukraine to come into some sort of agreement between these two nations. So they are very advanced, and of course, with the special relationship with this current administration in the United States, and the trust issue that actually they have, and the state of the logistic geography that Putin can come safely in Saudi Arabia without having anybody following him from the international court laws or anything like that. I think it all makes sense, let alone the history that MBS had by releasing prisoners from Russia. Already MBS has some expectation with Putin and has some expectation with Trump. Therefore, it makes sense to have this meeting here in Saudi Arabia.
A lot of the people, in fact, who are looking at the Russia-Ukraine war would say that the differences between the Russians and the Americans in terms of what should be a final negotiated settlement in Ukraine are much more difficult to actually agree upon. But in the Gaza Strip, the other war that is waging on, the Americans seem to have all the cards. So when Donald Trump visits Riyadh for a possible negotiation with Russia, do you think Donald Trump would also be pushing for some kind of a settlement for the Gaza Strip as well?
First of all, President Donald Trump, he's sometimes very rational. If you heard this statement yesterday, he was saying that it's one of the key issues that he's going to discuss is probably not getting Ukraine to be part of the NATO or part of the EU, to that matter, because it does not make sense having a borderline with the Russian. So that was a good, basically, announcement for the Russian to give them this comfort. However, the geography that Russia has to basically agree on, especially the territories that they've already occupied always to the island, might be a subject to negotiation. But I think as long as the intent is there from President Putin, and he has a trusted partner that he can deal with, and someone that he can talk to, and is much more rational than the other administration, which is basically they wanted, they were pushing money, they were pushing weapons to Ukraine in order to defeat Russia. This today has changed.
Right.
I think both countries are really tired from that, and they will come to terms. Now on the Gaza part of all of that, this is a totally different, subject. It's a different dynamics. It's different. It's a different ways that the American administration and administration before actually brought up that they will probably would like for Israel to occupy the Gaza Strip. This is not going to happen. It's not logical. There's a lot of challenges. You cannot displace people. Those people owns the land. It's going to basically open fire in the whole Middle East. And the first people who's going to basically, having no benefit of doing it are the Israelis, because this will increase the instability of Israel in the region. Remember, Israel is surrounded by all the, by 350 million Arab nations, people. It's not sustainable. It's not feasible. I think Israel needs to think about the two-state solution, about normalization with the rest of the Arab countries, and start, deploying economics. But if they're gonna, hold this stick, it's gonna be difficult for Israel to have peace in the region.
All right, very interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Al Ibrahim, for joining us with that perspective there.